Hi, I'm D. I review rums, and this is 1833. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, people? Welcome to another coffee morning session. Today I'm drinking Tidal Rum. I'll put the link for it in whatever corner it pops up in. This rum, I believe I was in Marseille when I reviewed it. So it was like a nice beach. I was traveling as I do. So it was a nice beach review there. And then I've also got my advent calendar, another rum advent calendar. This was another gift, so thank you very much. So I'll be reviewing. Last year I had one of these. I did like these little mini 30-second reviews every day on Instagram. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it this time around. I'm not really on Instagram that much these days, so I might do something similar. YouTube shorts, just quick reviews on these. So I'll figure out today how I'm gonna process these. So I was thinking that I'm not depressed. Depressed is an overstatement, but I'm feeling a bit meh. And I feel a bit meh because I don't like being in the UK for Christmas and New Year's. I would much prefer to be away for both, or at least one of these things. I think the UK can be a bit boring. I like to do something like that. You know me, I like to travel. You see me around, you see me bish bash bosh everywhere. So I'm not going away this year. That's why I'm a bit meh. And it's very much a first world problem, but it's a problem that I have created for myself, and it's come from experience. So at all times, I like to have my bank accounts in like quick access savings, what I classify as FU money. And I understand that puts me in a very fortunate position because most people don't have that. I think I've seen reports, the numbers vary, but I've seen reports that most households in the UK couldn't afford like a £400 emergency. Something, if an unexpected bill came up, most people are buggered. And here I'm talking about having FU money. But that comes from experience of life. I'm like, I don't want to be in that position again. So let me just rewind. So I used to work back in like 2007, I used to work in a sales company. It was a small company and they've been around forever. And my manager was like best buds with the director, the CEO, the owner of the company. I think they went to each other's weddings. They have been they've known each other for a long time. But she was a bully. She was a horrible boss. And I hated going to work. But I could not afford not to go to work. And then that was like 2007 and 2008. It might have been around 2007, 2008, but it was around the time of the crash, because soon after the crash, I got made redundant as well. The company was having problems and I got made redundant, this and the other. And that was tough as well. I think I was out of work for 3 months or so, because it was a tough period of time to look for work as well. So I was out of work for a while. And then, so from then onwards, I said to myself, I cannot be in a position where I just can't afford to say, and I can't afford to leave work. I don't want to be in a position where I'm beholden to this job that I can't leave if I don't want to be here anymore. And so it's taken a long time. It's not something that's happened overnight. It's something I've had to put in place, so cut back on certain things, save little. Been a bit lucky sometimes. Luck always plays a part in these things. But I'm now, over a course of a long time, that's back in 2007, 2008 sort of time, we're in 2024, nearly 2025, I'm in that position now. So you see, it's been a long slog. But I'm in that position now. And so I hold that ability to do that in such high reverence that I'm not prepared to dip into that fund just to go on holiday. It's just no go. It's just money is there. I know it's there for it's just in case, but it's also just in case I get made redundant or something, and I'm not working for whatever reason. I know that I can cut back. If I lost my job tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, cool. Put my car away. I'll stop paying for car insurance. Not gonna drive and do that. I'll make other cutbacks there, other bits and pieces, and I can reduce my income considerably, so that my savings can stretch further. I know there's things I can cut back on in a heartbeat. That'll make yeah. So there's some things I can't There's some things I can't do. Like you've got mortgage and stuff to pay for. That's just stuff. But I'm also in a fortunate position where I got lots of friends and family around, and I know that if times are really bad, I can just jump on a bus or walk down the road, long walk, walk down the road, and if they'll get a meal from someone will find a way to get me some dinner or something at least. So I'm not going to be like homeless on my face, going hungry. I've got real good friends and family that are not a million miles away, that if really needed that support, I can drop on, and I'm really lucky to be in that place. I know a lot of people are not in that position, so also do not take that for granted. But yeah, so that was a long story as to why I have that. And then had me thinking a bit of a wider thought towards the UK in general. And I've realised that the UK is a third world country. But it's a third world country with a facade of doing well, of you come to the UK. It's like this. Okay. If you look on like Instagram or TikTok or just Google stuff, right, you'll see that there are lots of videos about people going to Paris and saying Paris is horrible. Paris has this sheen of being city of love and being lovely, but when you go there, it's like it's a bit gritty, a bit dirty. I think the UK has that same problem. Maybe not the same way, but you look at the UK from afar and you think, it's a big country, good economy. I think it's like the 5th or 6th largest economy in the world. You think people, okay, so you think, okay, people are doing okay. People are doing okay. But then you get here and then you see the reality. You get here and after you've been there for a little while, you sort of scratch beneath the surface and you realise that it's not okay. People are struggling to pay rents, mortgages. People are struggling to pay electricity bills. People are not paid enough. Money doesn't go very far. Money just, most people don't have a good standard of living. Most people are literally just working to pay the bills and just to survive. And it's a tough one because I've got family from the Caribbean, and a lot of my friends have family from other parts of the world who are poorer, and so they think, you're in England, you're living good. They think you have money to spend, because they see the facade. And it's really hard to put across to people that yes, and again, some of these problems are very much first world problems, because I'm sitting here in a nice, warm house. Fine, fantastic. But I'm one of the luckier ones, is because the people who are sitting who are sitting in a house full of mold, what have you, can't afford to turn the heating on because heating is so expensive. So they're sitting there, they be having in a house with, big jackets, fully clothed, and they go like they're outside because they can't afford to turn the heating on. Because if they turn the heating on, then they can't afford food. And these sort of people are working, and it makes no sense that you're working full time but you can't afford. There is in a developed world, in a developed country, you should not be working full time and not be able to afford the basics. If that is what's happening, then the wages are too low. Wages are too low and things are too expensive. It doesn't make sense that you can work full time. And I'm not saying extravagant things. I'm saying just some basics, like having an internet connection, having a mobile phone, not even a great mobile phone, but like a good SIM card deal where you can get some data, because these things you need in life. It sounds crazy, but It's part of the necessity of life in the 21st century. You should be able to live in a house or live in somewhere where there's not mold growing on the walls and your health is at risk. If you're working full time, you should be able to live at a basic and agree. I'm not here to sort of set out what that basic life is. That could be discussed. But if you're working full time, you should be able to afford a basic standard of living. And most people cannot do that. They work full time and they cannot afford a basic standard of living, and that is also sad. So we live in a capitalist society. There are winners and losers in the society we live in. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to be a winner. I'm just saying we need to agree the basics of what we consider the minimum. And if you're working full time, you should be able to afford the minimum. The minimum wage should be a minimum wage to survive. Otherwise, why are you working? What is the point of working full time if you can't afford to be alive? It just makes no sense. Just think about that for a minute. You're working. The minimum wage should be the wage you need to survive. To survive. If you work a full time job with a minimum wage, you should be able to survive to afford some lodgings. So does it mean that may mean it might be okay? So we live in it might be something you have to share. You're renting a room somewhere. We can just discuss what that minimum looks like. But you should be able to live and maintain your life without any additional support. So that also means traveling to and from work, all those sort of things. I'm not saying it means, but you should be able to afford to put clothes on your back. I'm not saying you have to be able to afford designer clothes. No, that's not minimum. But you should be able to put clothes on your back. You shouldn't be working minimum wage and going hungry. This doesn't make any sense. Then it's not a minimum wage. It's not a minimum wage. You're living below the minimum because you still need more. Anyway, that was a bit deep. I actually don't think I planned to be that deep, but it was a bit deep. So yeah, I thought I'd just share my thoughts here on that one. It's been a bit of a rant, but that's what these coffee morning sessions are for. So have a good one.